meteorologist Chase Jones.
Well, huge shout out to CVN-73 as they're forward deployed while we're dealing with some of these cold temperatures here. Now, let's remember all of those deployed right now because they definitely can't spend the holidays with us, but they're definitely in our hearts wishing they were home. Now, it's a lot colder back here than it is, at least in 5th Fleet, all the way down into those 40s last night, and we're still holding strong in those lower 40s right now. And it's going to push all the way down into those freezing levels. So let's go ahead and drip the pipes, open up the cabinets, cover up the windows, pull the pets and the plants inside because it's 49 right now in San Angelo. You don't need me to tell you it's cold out there. Everybody else in a combination of those lower 50s, those upper 40s, shades of blues across the entire Concho Valley. 49 in Sterling City, 51 down there in Junction, still holding on to 54 down there in Mason, so it's looking at about 5 degrees across the entire Concho Valley, but more cold air is definitely on the way by tonight. As we see, those dew points are down there in those 20s across the entire Concho Valley, while the humidity indices are in those 30s and those 40s across the entire region. We're still going to see some moisture drag across the entire area, but it's going to be moving awfully quick. When we look at the upper level pattern, still seeing this decaying low pressure system around eastern Canada. That's going to keep us cold well into the weekend and into the first week of December. Seeing another cutoff low develop off the west coast of California that will linger there for several days. Now that's going to keep the winds pretty fast across the entire state of Texas, and we'll see just how much moisture drags across the entire region. Of course, we're seeing a little bit of ridging off the west coast. Now that's going to push us up into the 70s, so we're on the warm side of this cold front right now. Looking at the water vapor imagery, still keeping our eye on the cold air really sinking down this Thanksgiving Day while we're watching the west coast recharge for the next round of snow making its way in off the west coast. Now you hear a lot about the Siberian Express. That's sort of like a polar outbreak. It's going to be pushing down from the north, at least on the eastern side of the United States, and that's going to keep everything calm across the entire west coast, at least until the end of the weekend. Now severe weather outlook for today is behind me. It's still along the Gulf Coast region, really just sort of around the Carolinas, and when we take you down to the surface, really just a calm day. Again, seeing a lot of those suppressive conditions from a lot of that cold air across the entire United States. Of course, you can see all that snow that's been across the Rocky Mountains and on down to the Panhandle, but we're still just holding on to some of those cold conditions right now. Keeping our eye on this westerly cloud cover, we're really just going to continue to watch it push out of the area. That's where we're going to see that cloud cover sort of break up, but we're on the recharge now. We're keeping our eye around the Gulf Coast region because it's going to pull a lot of moisture up into this region again by next weekend, where we could be into those lower 70s. So it's going to be great weather for putting up the decorations, getting a lot of those Secret Santa items, but tonight dropping all the way back down below that freezing mark. So let's get ready. Let's be safe. Let's be prepared for it because we've had plenty of time. You can't believe that yesterday it was all the way up into those 80s. Then tomorrow, a much colder day. Of course, we're getting up into those upper 50s. The lights are already up, so bundle up if you're going to get out there and take advantage of those holiday sales. We make our way closer into this weekend, at least the beginning of December, and we start to see us on the recharge, on the warm up into those mid 60s. As we get closer towards the weekend, we could have opportunity for some light rain. Then, of course, we're on the front side of that cold front, and we're going to be in those lower 70s while those overnight lows push up from those freezing marks around those lower 50s. Stay tuned. I'm up for the break. You're watching KSAN News at 5.